What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Red Wonders channel, and it's a new video and it's a new predictions for this upcoming season, the 25-26 Irish League season. Now, this has proven to be one of the toughest predictions I've done in the last 3 or 4 years, I think it is, because it's so tight in the Irish League, especially in the bottom six. The likes of Carrick, Portadown, Bangor at the bottom, and then the top three as well, because I just don't think this year there's a clear winner in the league. But I'm going to show you my predictions: Irish Cup prediction, League Cup, Shield, and top goal scorer as well. I had a bit of a break there, I was on holiday, but we're back. It's a new season, starts on Saturday, but Reds game on Sunday. Come on, let's get into predictions. In the number 12, I'm going to go for Bangor. I don't think they have the squad to stay up in the league, but they have signed two very good players. They've also signed other players, but these are the main players. I think Gareth Dean, who was a very, very good keeper in the Irish League for Coleraine, Linfield and Glenavon. And also they have signed Steve McGuinness from Clinville, who I thought was actually pretty good last season, but obviously he wants to play first team more. But I don't think Bangor have... I said it there, they don't have the squad. They had a very good season last year, Irish Cup semi-finals, and obviously won the championship, but I just see them finishing 12th. It's very harsh, it's very difficult between them, Portadown and Carrick, I think, of who's going to finish 12th, but I am going to go Bangor. Get in the 11th, I think 11th will be Portadown. Now, they had a very good season last year as well, but I just can't see it happening again this season. I think they will fall. I think they'll get into that playoff position. Now it's between them and Carrick, I think, but I think Carrick have signed better. Ports have signed a few players, but I didn't really want to say them because I honestly don't have a clue who they are. But that could be a good thing as well, because look at them last year with your man Josh Ukak. He's still Portadown, and he was wanted by the Glens and the Reds. But if he stays, they maybe have a better chance of finishing a bit higher, but I just see them finishing 11th. I don't think they'll get relegated because Niall Curry will not get them relegated, but I think Portadown are in for a very, very tough season. 10th in the league for me is going to be Carrick Rangers. I think they've made some very, very good signings, like the likes of Jimmy Gallagher, Billy Joe Burns, Jack Scott from Coleraine, who I think is a class signing, Adam Leckie as well from the Cruise. There's three players who used to play for the Cruise, but I do think their downfall will be Nathan Gartside. I've seen him play for Clinville. He wasn't great at all. He had a very good Irish Cup final, don't get me wrong, but even look at him last year with Loughgall, very, very poor season last year with Loughgall, getting shipped 4 or 5 week in, week out. Now you could say that's down to his defence, but he has to play a part in that as well. But I think Baxter, he was close to getting them relegated when they finished 11th last year, but they destroyed, I can't even remember who it was, but they destroyed them on aggregate. But the likes of Gibson, I think he'll do well again this season, and I think Carrick will have a decent season. It'll be very, very tough to go to Taylor's Avenue, very tough. My prediction for 9th in the Irish League this season is going to be Ballymena. Now, people may say that's harsh because last year they did have a very, very good season compared to the season before, but I just think Jim Irvine as their manager, I just really don't see it happening. I don't see them going any further than 9th, to be honest. They've brought in big players, like Dara O'Connor's a very good signing, and David Toure as well, but I just don't know. Like they spent loads of money last year, or got loads of good free agents as well, and they just didn't really do anything. I remember there was a stage where they beat us, Linfield and Larne, I think it was. They beat Larne and Inver, and they were top of the table, but then they did nothing from that. They had a really poor split and finished the league campaign very, very poorly. But they do have the squad to do better things, but I do think they'll finish 9th. Getting into 8th, I think this is a very, very bold opinion from myself, but I do think this will happen. I think the Crews are going to finish 8th. They've signed Curtis Forsyth from Carrick, which I think is a very good signing, but other than that, it's just kids. He's technically still a youngster as well. They've let go of a lot of senior players as well, and I think Cadell will go this season. I really do. I don't think he's a good enough manager, and last year finished 6th, I think it was. Nah, I don't think they weren't good enough last season. I don't see them doing anything better this season. I do think they'll finish 8th. I think they'll finish below the teams like Glenavon and Dungannon, as I'm going to explain in a few minutes. But I really don't see the Crews doing anything this season, like not even a cup run. I just don't think they're good enough. They haven't signed any proper good players, and I think they'll finish 8th, and it's going to be a very, very underwhelming season for Dackie Cadell and the Crews. In the 7th, this is obviously the place for the playoff. I think it'll be Glenavon. I think under McLaughlin they'll do very, very well this season. I think McLaughlin is one of the best managers in the league. He done very, very well at Clinville, and obviously done very, very well at Glenavon last season whenever he took in charge. I think it was around Christmas time. But they've made some very, very big signings in this transfer window, like Stevie Mullen. Harry Wilson from the Glens is an unbelievable signing. Glens fans were saying he was going to be their future club captain, and they went and took him because I think he wanted more game time. Chris Lowe as well is a great signing, and Corey Smith as well. Now Glenavon, I think they'll do very, very well this season. Like, it's already tough going to Mourneview Park, but these signings make it even tougher. But they did lose one of their big players from last season in David Toure to Ballymena. With that, I still think they're going to do really well under McLaughlin. They're a very, very good footballing side. They also lost Leo Sullivan as well. He was a great player, a left back. He got his first proper season in the Irish League last season. He was unbelievable. I wanted him at Clinville. I think he was close to going to Linfield as well, but he went to Ross County. But I think this is going to be a very good season for McLaughlin and Glenavon, and I think Glenavon fans have something to look forward to this season. Finishing sixth this year in the Irish League, I'm going to go for Dungannon Swifts. I think last year they had an unbelievable season, win the Irish Cup, as much as it pains me to say that, but they were the better team in the day. A very, very good league campaign in general, and then going away in Europe and winning in Europe, but obviously they did get beat at Solitude. I thought they were very unfortunate. I didn't think that was a red card, to be honest, but I think they'll have a very good season again. But the loss of John McGovern is going to be massive to Shamrock Rovers. He was their main talisman last season, and that's going to be a massive loss. They've still got Jamal Mitchell up top, who used to play for Coleraine, who had a very good league campaign season last year. But it's going to be a good season for Macquarie's side again, and they're a very, very good footballing team, Dungannon, and they're very enjoyable to watch, and that's why I do think they're going to get top six again. And Rodney McAree, what a manager. I think he won Manager of the Year last year, which I think was completely fair. He's done an unbelievable job at Dungannon since he's taken over from his time at the Glens, where he done an unbelievable job as well. But Rodney McAree and Dungannon, I think they're going to finish in the top six. The top five, I think fifth is going to be the Glens, to be honest, and I think this is another bit of a bold opinion, because people realise I haven't mentioned my club yet, but I just don't think the Glens, again, I remember the Glens last year going on that mad run. I think it was 17 games unbeaten, and then came to Solitude and got beat by Jack Keely header, and somebody else scored as well. But they won the Shield last year and acted like they won the league. I remember them saying they're going to go for the treble and the quadruple, and they just didn't amount to anything, to be honest. I don't see them doing anything much this season, to be honest. I think it could be Divines last season. They've signed big, like they've signed Pat Hoban, which is a massive signing in my opinion. He will score goals, but I think it's everything else around him. Like, they've lost Gaioli, who was unbelievable last season. I still don't think he was the best keeper in the league, but that save in the League Cup final alone, what a save. That's the best save I've seen in person. And they lost Cody Lyles Foster as well, which was a big loss as well. They've also signed Jordan Stewart. Didn't go down well with the fans, but I thought it was a good signing. He's a good technical player, but obviously his past has shown why the Glens fans don't like him. But I think the Glens will finish fifth, maybe a cup run. I don't know what. I'm not that optimistic for the Glens this season. I don't think they'll do that well, but I think they'll finish fifth. My fourth, I'm going to go for the Reds, I think. We had a very, very poor league campaign last season, but that was due to a number of factors, such as losing massive players in that transfer window. We lost about 10 or 11 players, I think it was, last season. But we just didn't recover. And Midgelton was only able to send free players. Like last transfer window, we bought one player with money. That was Micheál Glynn, who has been alright for the Reds. He scored a few goals. That goal in Europe was unbelievable. But the Reds are good in Europe, I have to be honest. I thought we played very, very well, and we're beaten by a poor, efficient team. But I've already ranted about that. If you want to go and watch the video, it's on the channel. I don't want to be talking about it again. We were unlucky. Great result away, but unlucky at home. I think this season, people are saying, we're going to be really, really poor this season because we haven't signed well. We've signed Reece Campbell, we've signed Connor Falls, PJ Morrison. We've also let go Axel Peisold, who was one player we really wanted to keep. We also lost Odamusu as well. We also lost Shea Kearney as well, which is a massive loss, and Sean Stewart. But the thing at Glenville seems to worry me is we're letting players go and just not replacing them. all that aside, I think Magilton's still a good enough manager to get us top four in this league. His football and style is just so good to watch. I think he will get us over the line to finish above the likes of the Glens, the Crews, Dungannon. I think we were very unlucky in the Irish Cup last season. We just tired, or the final, we tired out, and Dungannon were just a better side. We missed big chances, but it just pains me talking about that cup final. If we send a few more players before the window closes, then I think this is a certainty for us to finish fourth. But this isn't more of a hopeful prediction. I do honestly think we will finish fourth. This may be another unpopular opinion, but I think Coleraine are going to finish third. I just can't see them challenging for the league. I know they brought in Higgins as their manager at the end of last season, which we beat in the playoff. They also brought in Cooper as well, which is a massive signing, easily the best player in the league, and Fallon from the Blues. But however, I just can't see them challenging. They've brought in way too many players, high quality players, yes, but players, they're still going to take time to gel. It might take a few seasons for them to challenge, which the expectation will be the challenge straight away, but I just don't see it. They played Fleetwood in a pre-season friendly and got beat 2-1. I thought that was a very, very good result. But Colerane's main aim this season has to be getting Europe. They haven't got it in so long. I should have said that for the Glens as well. The Glens haven't had Europe in 2 or 3 years. It's massive financially and for the fans as well, and for players to have the opportunity to play in Europe. But I think Coleraine need to get Europe this season, and they do have the players to get Europe. I just don't think they have the players to challenge for the league, and that's why I've put them in third, to be honest. I think Higgins will bring a style like he did at Derry, a very defensive style, I'd say. But Higgins has also shown, like last season, he was a big bottle job at Derry, and that's why he got the boot. Like they lost the league in a two-way race, and they also got beaten in the cup by Drogheda. I think he's a very good manager, but it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what he does at Coleraine. Now, second, I'm going to go for Larne. I think Larne have signed, and again, like Portadown, they've signed players that I just don't have a clue about, so there's not really point me talking about them because they haven't played in the Irish League. But they've looked good in Europe. 2 penalty shootout wins. They're obviously flying. They're going to get so much money from that European run as well, and they're still in Europe to this day. But I don't think they have enough to win the league, and from what I've seen from Nathan Rooney, like his game against us, I think that was his only game. He really wasn't great. They drew 1 each against us, but we should have battered them. But anyway, I think they will come second. They've got an unbelievable squad, and there's not really an excuse for them not to challenge. And they've also got the players that know how to win the league, like your likes of Tomas Cosgrove and your Randall in midfield. But I don't think they will win the league. I think obviously the team I haven't mentioned, the Blues, I think the Blues will win the league, and Larne will finish second again, getting Europe, and probably going again on another European run. But I think this title race will be very, very tight between Linfield and Larne. And finally, the winners of this year's Sports Direct Premiership is going to be Linfield. Yes, they've lost Cooper, and they haven't really brought in much players, and it looks like they might be losing Callum Morrison as well. I think that's just speculation though. But I think they'll win this league. I said it will be tight between Larne and Linfield, but I think that the deciding point will be David Healy. He just knows how to win leagues. He's won so many at Linfield, and they won the league with ease last season. It was so easy for them to win the league, but they've such a squad again. It's just so hard to bet against Linfield winning the league. They were unbelievable last year, and I think they'll carry it in again. Like, they've done well in Europe. They were unlucky against Shelbourne, but Shelbourne again, like last night, got an unbelievable result in Croatia. I think Linfield, yes, they might struggle because they're doing well in Europe, and that might reflect on their league form at the start of the season. But I do think they'll come back at the end of the season, push, and I think they will win the league. I think Kieran Offord will do very, very well for Linfield, along with Fitzpatrick, who has a bit of a mixed feeling with Linfield fans. Some like him, some don't, but I do think Linfield will win the league. You run through this, Irish Cup winners, I think they'll be the Blues. I just think they know how to win trophies. I said this there, they know how to win the leagues, they also know how to win cups, but the Irish Cup's very, very hard to predict. Same with the League Cup. I think we'll win the League Cup again. Magilton's shown in the last 2 seasons he knows how to put a cup run together. Obviously with us winning the Irish Cup the season before and the League Cup last year, and I think the Shield will be Larne. Larne just seem to always win it, to be honest, and it's a Shield. Like the Glens won it last year and boasted about it. It's a fucking Binlet, as some people call it, but I think Lorno in it. I think top goal scorer in the league this season. I know I said the Glens will do well, but I think it's going to be Pat Hope, and I think he'll score goals for the Glens. But this is my predictions. Videos are back, more videos, more TikToks. Go and follow my TikTok, Red Wonder on TikTok. But the support in the last few months with the Europe vlogs and the end of this season has been unbelievable. I just want to say thank you so much. Here's to another season. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.